Hi everyone, I'm Tom. Today's Daily Rant is about the treatment of star players in professional sports when dealing with injuries. Now I want to focus on our nation's capital and two teams with two different stars. The Washington Redskins with RG3 and the Washington Nationals with Stephen Strasburg. Now both teams had very good seasons in which they went into the playoffs. Both teams did fail to make it out of the first round of the playoffs, but the big difference here is how each team dealt with their star players while dealing with injuries, while in hunt for success. The Washington Redskins, in their push for the championship in football, used their star RG3, even though he was not 100%. Now I know that players will continue to push themselves until they're physically used up each game. Football players are beat up for most of the season. Even though RG3 was limping on the field from the first play of the playoff game, he continued to push until he finally collapsed when his ACL and LCL decided that they were done. Now, Coach Shanahan could have made the decision to keep RG3 on the bench for the game and use their backup quarterback, but he decided to let his star quarterback play until the injury forced him to the sidelines. Now, football players are known for being tough, and they seem to show it every game after taking these huge hits, jumping right back up, or if they get pushed out, coming right back in the next play. RG3 played the tough man in this playoff game, but he paid the price for his injury. Now, the Washington Nationals took a totally different approach to protecting one of their star players, Stephen Strasburg. He came off an injury to his pitching arm last year. The team made a decision to limit the amount of innings he could pitch for this season, and that became the big emphasis. This was to allow Stephen the opportunity to build his arm strength up so he could avoid another major injury to his arm. Now, Strasburg did not want to be shut down by the team, especially since they were going into the playoffs, and then ultimately they were eliminated in the first round. He's a competitor. He lobbied the team to pitch, but the management simply said no. Athletes are going to push until they cannot physically perform. That's what sets them apart from everyday players. Now, I'm sure RG3 told his coaches he could continue to play even though he was physically injured for most of the game. I love the energy that both of these players bring to the game. RG3 has a certain characteristic that makes you want to watch him play and to see him be successful, while Stephen Strasburg has what looks like endless amounts of talent that hopefully we'll be watching for many years. I hope that I'm not wrong in saying that a running quarterback will not last for long in the NFL. And if this year is any indication, then I believe RG3 will have a short career. Simply put, RG3 took a beating, and he kept going back in the lineup, and the team seemed to have the decent backup. Now, fans say Shanahan should have pulled the injured RG3 out of the game and left the backup play. But if they had lost these games, these same fans would have cried, hey, RG3 should have been in the game from the beginning. Just like the fans said about the Nationals for pulling Strasburg out early. The fact that coaches and management have to make decisions every day about injuries to players and who should or should not be on the field. Every game, you want your best players on the field. Second-guessing a coach after the game is just whining. To play or not to play? That's the million-dollar question. I'm Tom Williams, and I'm out of here.